Hello, Orangeburg. I am Jennifer Van Cleve, the City of Orangeburg's Public Information Officer, and I want to thank you for joining us on City Talk. Hello, welcome to City Talk. Today we have Orangeburg Public Safety Chief Charles Austin with us. Chief, thanks so much for joining us today. We're glad to have you.
Thank you so much for the invitation, and of course, I take every opportunity that's open to us to talk about the city of Orangeburg and the role of the Department of Public Safety as it relates to the revitalization, economic development, and all the other great things we have going on within the city of Orangeburg.
And you have so much going on, but let's start at the beginning and let's introduce you to some of our listeners who may not know much about you. You've been here for almost 3 years, and you're familiar with Orangeburg. Tell us a little more about yourself.
Very familiar with Orangeburg. I came to Orangeburg in 1968 as a student at South Carolina State. One of the great things that happened besides graduating is I met my future bride in Orangeburg, and we, of course, moved to Greenville for a brief period, which is my hometown. But after I went to work with the State Law Enforcement Division, we ultimately requested a transfer back to Orangeburg, and that was granted. So at least since 1968, I've been a part of the Orangeburg community. I've had a long-term relationship with the Orangeburg Department of Public Safety, having been a part of the selection panels for the initial Director of Public Safety and the subsequent Director, Wendell Davis. So this is not unfamiliar territory to me. But I can tell you, I love this place. I love the city of Orangeburg. I love what we have on the board in terms of our future. And I'll share something with you. When I was contacted by Mr. Everin and Mayor Butler about the prospect of coming out of retirement from the educational, the academic side, I prayed and I asked Ava, what would you have me do? And her response was, go home. And so here I am.
And you originally committed on an interim basis, and then you decided to stay with us, which was not the plan at all, was it?
No, the plan was to be here 4 to 6 months. But the more I got into it, the more I began to realize that this was an assignment by God, and only He can determine when that assignment has been fulfilled in a way that pleases Him. And so I'm really, really, really happy to be here. I love the people that I work with. We have outstanding leadership in the city. And I just feel at home.
We're so happy that you listened to that assignment and that you are here with us.
Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Let's talk a little bit about, I know one of your big philosophies is community policing.
Yes.
And you feel that is very important. And that's something that you've really kind of made your officers take pride in and get involved with. Tell us a little bit about how you're doing that.
I'm so thankful that our officers have bought in. This is my 52nd year in law enforcement. I know some people would probably say, good Lord, he must have started when he was 4 or 5 years old. But I get great enjoyment out of the community policing aspect of what we do. And I believe if the leader sets the right example, then those who are following will come along. And in our case, of course, our example starts at the very top. Mr. Everin is a community policing city administrator, and he recognizes the benefits. And then we're surrounded by people such as yourself who understand the benefit that can be derived from a strong, impactful community policing program. So we are doing what we call policing an image. I know that there have been some instances on social media where Orangeburg has been labeled as the most dangerous city in South Carolina. And so, of course, I did some research, and what I found was there was one publication that had us listed as number one. There was one that had us listed as number two, but then there were several others that didn't have us listed at all. And so that gave us the impetus for, okay, here's what we have to do. First thing is, let's reconnect with our community. And let's reconnect in a positive way so that every experience that a person has with a member of the Orangeburg Department of Public Safety, I want it to reflect this city in a positive way. Nobody who seeks our assistance should ever leave without an answer. And even if we don't have the answer, we should be able to help direct them to where they can get an answer. So as we have moved out into the community, of course, we've sponsored a number of events. This past Christmas holiday season, starting around Thanksgiving, we were having a variety of events that involved the public. And most of those events involved inviting the public to come to our home. And ODPS headquarters is our home. But having people come to our home and see us in a different light and having a positive experience with children, with persons from the homeless, unhoused community, with other service providers. And what we recognize is all of those things are essential to building a strong community policing effort. And the buy-in from the public has just been amazing.
And you have a lot of community partners that you work with.
We have at this point about 17 community partners, and we're still adding on to that. And it's not about who gets the credit.
Right.
It's about serving the people. And one of the things I learned years ago, and that I certainly stress today, is that crime is a byproduct of quality of life and social issues that are unaddressed. Homelessness,
the mental health component.
especially the mental health component. It's been criminalized. So when we encounter someone who's in a state of mental health distress, it's easy for that person to go from being a patient to a prisoner. And that is very concerning, because what we recognize is someone who's having a mental health challenge needs help, and needs help from a mental health professional. And so we work very closely with the mobile crisis intervention team, and the services they provide has prevented on a number of occasions a person in mental health distress. It prevented them from being arrested in favor of getting them someplace where they could get help. When we have our community stakeholders meeting, inevitably one or two additional partners join us. And so when we then sponsor or we are part of neighborhood activities, cookouts and other activities, it's just so heartwarming and refreshing to see folk from the Family Solutions, folk from CASA, the legal aid office, the school district. All these partnerships come together with the sole focus on making this Orangeburg the very best Orangeburg it can be. Consequently, when people hear somebody put out a narrative that Orangeburg is the most dangerous place in South Carolina, the first question they ask is, which Orangeburg are they talking about? Because it's certainly not the one that we see on a daily basis.
What do you say to those critics who are constantly saying that this is a dangerous place to live?
What I say to them is, visit us spend some time with us, get a chance to know who we are, get a chance to know what services we offer, get a chance to sit in on a meeting and observe our interaction with the Homeless Coalition, with the Homeless Symposium, with the Samaritan House staff, and with our business owners, stakeholders. Really spend some time getting to know this city. And the persons who do that inevitably leave with a whole different tune.
And Serve and Connect is another project that you
Yes.
work closely with. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about that and how that program works?
I am so proud of the relationship that we have with Serve and Connect and Dr. Cassie Aaliyah Ray, who's the executive founder and executive director, and how Dr. Ray took a tragedy and turned it into just one awesome service program project. For those persons who don't know, Cassie's husband, Greg, was a police officer with Forest Acres, and Greg was killed actually on my birthday.
Goodness.
And in most instances, folk would say that Cassie had every right to be bitter, to be angry, and just completely isolate herself, disconnect from interacting with any community. Yet she turned it into a positive experience, and Serve and Connect sponsors Greg's Groceries. And through that program, we have boxes, survival boxes, if you will, that are packed with non-perishable items. And police officers around the state carry those boxes in their patrol cars. So when we encounter families that are in need, we can distribute a box to them. Or if they need other assistance, our officers are also equipped to help get them to places if they need someplace to stay, if they have a mental health issue. And Orangeburg is one of the premier partners in that relationship with Serve and Connect. We have a community event coming up this Friday, as a matter of fact, and we're all excited about it because it's going to be one big party. And each year we roll out the grill, and the mayor comes, Mr. Everin comes, you come, and the level of participation is just awesome. And so I get excited. I really get excited about it. And the opportunity to interact with the community in a positive way.
Right.
And this coming event, this Friday, is actually going to be the launching of the Chat with the Chief sessions that I will be having. And one Friday each month, we will have Chat with the Chief, and that will be an opportunity for any citizen who wants to just talk about Orangeburg. If they have a concern, if they have a recommendation, observation, they can come and we'll sit and we'll talk about it. And if it's something that we can work on and implement it or incorporate it into our service delivery process, we certainly are going to do that. For this coming Friday, as a matter of fact, I'll just be out there, and anybody who wants to just have a conversation, that will be the opportunity to do it. If it's something sensitive and they feel a need for a private time, I'll have Miss Betty or Miss Lisa work out a time for them so we can sit with them and talk about it. But we're going to be doing this on a monthly basis. The Chat with the Chief session will be one Friday each month, and that will be a complement to the safe haven that we've opened over in the Trio area, Dogwood, Edgewood, and Hampton Chase. We have another safe haven that we're finalizing and looking forward to opening over at St. Paul Apartments. Ultimately, what we would like to do is have a satellite station safe haven in each of the four sectors. And if we can get to a point where we have a satellite station, safe haven in more than one place, we're looking forward to it. But this is an exciting time for the Orangeburg Department of Public Safety. But everything we do as a department is focused on being a contributing factor to the bigger vision of making this city the very best that it can be.
And you referenced our event on Friday, and that's going to be at the Adden Street Park. It's going to
Yes.
be a fun time. Anyone can come.
Yes.
And it's going to be kind of like a block party. And we're having, or DPS, I guess I should say, is hosting one event each month up until National Night Out
Right.
in August. So tell us a little bit about National Night Out and why it's important to our community.
Well, National Night Out in this instance will be kind of a culmination of the master calendar that Ms. Robinson has put together for us. Again, reconnecting with the community. So each month we've been doing at least one activity. National Night Out, we want to bring everybody, as many people as we can get through this city to come out, celebrate with us. Because it's when we look at the quality of life that we have, it's because of all of our contributions. And what we want our citizens to understand, that in our mindset, everybody contributes, everybody counts, and everybody benefits. When we're all willing to roll up our sleeves and rather than sit on the sideline and criticize, but do whatever it is we can do to contribute to make Orangeburg a great city. That's the goal, and I see that happening. Previous national nights out have been really successful, and I see this one being another highly successful event.
And you've got officers who've been working on this for months already, and they're getting the grill ready, and they'll be out there serving hot dogs and hamburgers, I'm sure, as they have in the past, and your staff will be available to answer questions as people have them.
Absolutely. And of course, it's also a recruiting time for us.
That is true.
We have a number of vacancies that we need to fill, and we want to, again, let people see through our work, what the Orangeburg Department of Public Safety is about. And I know it sometimes doesn't get the highlight that it should, but one of our great assets is our fire division. Those guys are out there along with our police division personnel, and they too are cooking on grills, and they're talking with people about fire prevention and the services that we offer as a consolidated public safety agency. And of course, we have other city departments represented. It's anybody who really wants to get to know the city of Orangeburg, its employees, its administration, its leadership through the mayor and council. That's the time and place to come do it.
Let's shift gears just a little bit. Summer is quickly approaching. People are going to go on vacation and be out and about more often. What are some safety tips that you can suggest for our local residents this summer?
Well, we would recommend, first of all, do research on the place where you plan to vacation. If you are going to go out of your normal area, it's okay to do some research and to know what crime trends are and know what places are safe places to visit, and make contact with, if you know someone in a particular location, make contact, or you can call the local police department or sheriff's department in that area. If you're a stranger in an area, try not to be so obvious about it. But don't uh, get yourself into conversations about money. Somebody want to know how much money have you spent, how much money do you have, or if you if you have children with you, know where those children are at all times, and strongly encourage the children not to stray off on their own. And while we're speaking of that, I'm thinking right now of my daughter, my son-in-law, and my 3 grandchildren who are in Jamaica, and the lecture that I gave them. Guys, secure your money. Uh, Carry travel checks, or if you have a credit card, use that. And by all means, don't let my 3 grandbabies stray off any place by themselves. But a lot of times when we are victims of crime in destination places, vacation sites, it's because we become comfortable, we become careless, and that can have some bad consequences. So know your surroundings, know where, whatever size your party is, know where everybody is at all times. Have a contact system so that if the group gets separated, there's a specific number that you should be able to call. Vacations can be a lot of fun, but vacations also carry with them a lot of risk. Again, especially for people who are visiting sites. And there are some places, Disney World is one of them, that's so huge.
Right, right.
That it's very easy to get lost in the crowd. For younger children, as much as I know somebody is going to say that man is crazy, you might want to put a tether on them.
Right. Keep them close.
Yeah, keep them close. When we went to Las Vegas a couple of years ago, we did that. I didn't feel any kind of way about it because we went as a group, came back as a group. But we have to take ownership of our safety and security when we are on those vacations trips.
And people should take precautions at their home to make sure their house is taken care of as well while they're out of town.
Absolutely. Ask a neighbor about collecting your mail, or go to the post office and ask them to hold the mail for you. Leave a light on at strategic places in your home, and unless it's somebody you really trust, don't make some broad announcement that you're going to be gone for a week or 2 weeks.
Don't post it on social media.
Please don't. And if you bought a big screen television or something, make sure the box is disposed of before you leave. But don't leave any telltale signs that the place is deserted and nobody's around. Ask a family member or a neighbor to just walk around the perimeter, or contact ODPS and let us know you're going to be gone. We'll put your home on selected patrol, what we call directed patrol, and we'll be on the lookout. We'll make sure that somebody checks your property on a regular basis.
We've covered so much, and you all have so much going on. Is there anything we missed, or is there anything else you want to discuss?
I would like to just put in a plug for our recruitment efforts. We have set up 2 recruitment teams. One of them will be led by Lieutenant Angel Rickenbaker. The other will be led by Lieutenant Albert Black. Each team has 4 to 6 members. We will be traveling within a 75 to 100 mile radius of Orangeburg. I am going to be out and about helping with the recruiting effort. I kind of take the position that one of the things that made Nick Saban so successful, one of the things that has made Coach Swinney, who I know is one of your favorite people,
Yes.
one of the things that has made him successful, was their ability to connect with families and to go out and sell their programs.
Right.
And I believe in this time, in this era of transfer portals and free agency, and I know folk might think, well, that's for football or college athletics. No, that applies as well to law enforcement. We're all in competition now for what is a shrinking pool
Right.
of candidates. So I'm going to be out there pounding the pavement along with those teams, recruiting people.
And if anyone's interested, they can always call headquarters.
If anybody's interested, they can call us at 533-5924, and
And you'll sign them up.
we'll sign them up. I keep applications in my car. Call, and we'll connect you with Lieutenant Lauren Lott, and she can walk through the process. And every day, we're out there recruiting.
Thank you so much for all that you and your officers do to protect our city. And thank you for being here today. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you for all that you do, and I know that you're in the shadows a lot, but what you do in terms of taking the lead to market this city and to take the lead on the public relations aspect of the city is something that we can't say thank you enough for. You're absolutely the consummate professional, do a great job, and we just appreciate you.
Thank you so much. And to our listeners, we thank you for listening today. If you want to find out more about the events or things that our Department of Public Safety has going on, you can always take a look at their Facebook page or the city's Facebook page. We have a lot of things coming up there as well. And don't forget that the city of Orangeburg will be hosting the Diamond Youth Baseball World Series beginning July 25th. For more information about that, you can visit orangeburgdyb.com. Once again, thank you for listening, and thank you for being a part of City Talk.